Hi there. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent training. Welcome to our Real Talk series, where we're looking at phrases, how they connect, how written words sound different than spoken words. And today we're going to be covering a phrase that has some words in it that are difficult to pronounce by themselves. And so one of our viewers requested a video for how to pronounce modern world together. And so we're going to look at that in the phrase in the modern world to show you how you can smoothly, easily, and fluently say this phrase despite that it has difficult sounds. We'll look at the stress patterns and the sounds in these words and break it down for you. In our Word of the Day playlist and in our other videos, we do have word videos for just the word modern and for the word world. And if you struggle with either of those words by themselves, I suggest checking out those Word of the Day videos just to break down a word like world. It's challenging for many people, so it gives you some tips and a lot of help for that. You can see that in our Word of the Day series here on YouTube. You can also find more help for that in our free Word of the Day course on speechmodification.com. That has all of our words of the day, as well as definitions and more resources for you. It's absolutely free, so go check it out. All right. So when we're talking about a phrase in the modern world, first of all, thinking about the stress pattern in this phrase, we tend to stress the content words in phrases and we don't stress the structure words. So the words like in and the are not important. They go by quickly. They're going to be linked and potentially reduced in this kind of a phrase. And then where the content really is here is in the words modern and world. Our typical rule is to stress the last content word in the phrase. So we might typically stress this in the modern world with more length on world. I marked it here with primary stress on modern and secondary stress on world, and that would sound more like in the modern world. So it depends on which way you want to, what meaning you mean. If I'm just saying this as a regular phrase that happens in the modern world, then world is going to have my primary stress. If I'm using it to introduce something and saying in the modern world, this and this happens, to highlight that I'm talking about right now, the modern world, rather than previously, then I'm going to have more stress on modern. So either of those are an option. So that's something, by the way, that is focused on intonation. We also have a playlist for intonation, and you can learn more about intonation in our American Accent 6-week course. It's a big part of being well understood and the American accent. In addition to pronunciation. So if you're finding that sometimes you're having difficulty with a phrase or with being understood and you're pretty sure you're pronouncing the words correctly, it may be that you need to take a look at the intonation pattern for that particular word. So first of all, let's talk about the in the. That's going to be very fast because my length is going to be here on modern and world, in the modern world. Many people have asked me, how do I do in the quickly and easily, especially because we have this voiced TH there. And I wrote it here kind of all clumped together as in the. And I've talked about this before, but what I'm going to give you as a tip here when I'm going from in to the, this is also true for words like on that, in those, any time I'm going from an N to a TH sound, rather than moving my tongue directly to the N position, in the, and then to the TH position, behind the teeth, then between the teeth. That takes too long. I can't say it fluently. It sounds more like in the, in the, in the. I can't do it without a break. So if I want to smoothly go from in to the, what I have to do is get my tongue ready for the TH. It's in the TH position as I'm finishing the word in. And instead of the tip of my tongue lifting behind my teeth, like in the tip of my tongue is in the TH position and the blade of my tongue makes the N. Looks like this. In the. So I'm making my, excuse me, N sound further back on my tongue than I normally would. Normally, if I'm just saying in, on, I use the tip of the tongue behind the teeth. When I'm doing in the, I go further back, blade of the tongue behind the teeth, so that I'm ready to go into the TH. So you can see some more help for that in our linking videos and also in our American Accent 6-week course. We talk about details like linking and fluent speech. So in the, we've got in the covered. Now we're talking about modern, in the modern world. So part of the challenge for modern that we talk about in the modern video is that the letter O says vowel ah, and we still need an sound, but it's the unstressed So that I still need the tight back American R sound, but I don't have a lot of time to do the same way I do in world, where I'm holding that vowel longer. So you might just try doing the earn, dern, modern. You might also find that the challenge is if you have to do modern and world, 2 R sounds in close succession. That's maybe where you have the challenge, in which case you probably want to start with world and build from the back. So you would try world, world. So you hear how I can just do the N sound and link that to the W, world, and then earn world. This is probably where you're going to have the most difficulty because there's those 2 R's together. So approaching the phrase modern world in a different manner, as soon as I start with the M of modern world, my mouth is going to do it whichever way it always has. So it may relax too much on those R's. It may stumble over those R's. If I start somewhere else in that phrase and I build from there, I may be able to overcome that challenge. So this particular viewer was telling me that they don't have trouble with modern by itself or world by itself. It's when they put the 2 together. That's very typical, very normal. Just like some people have no trouble saying were, or for example, old, but then when they have to do were old in world, that's very difficult. Again, my video on world will help you break that down and be able to sequence that easily. But for modern world, just try building from another point, also going slowly and linking between the 2. When I go from the N to the W, modern world, I have to pretty much let the N go and move into the W. So there's not a lot of linking there. But for both of these, when I'm doing world, my tongue really needs to be ready for that R before I get to the W. So that's another thing that I would suggest is you try were, Even for both the N and the W sounds, my tongue is really still in that R position. If I let it go, modern, and I don't have an position as I'm starting the word world, I can't make that R fast enough, and it sounds distorted. I struggle with it. It doesn't work. So really, you have to have your tongue in this R position all the way through here. Modern world. Just the tip of my tongue closes for that N, and the back of my tongue is still in that R position. My lips move for the W, but my tongue is still ready for the R. That's probably going to be the biggest factor for this phrase. Once I can say modern world, then I tack on my in the modern world, This technique of breaking it down, looking at where you struggle, is going to help you with any phrase that you're finding difficult to put together. But in particular for these challenging words of modern and world, I hope that was helpful for you. I'll be back again tomorrow with another Word of the Day class. And if you have a phrase or something that you're struggling with, you can let me know in the comments and I'll cover it in a future class. So I've been interspersing some of these bonus classes where we look at linking and real talk for some of our more advanced viewers who are really got some of the basic pronunciation down, but are looking to sound more fluent and build their skills from there. Nice to see everyone here live today. I'm happy that you're here. Thank you so much for your support. Those of you who've subscribed to the channel, who've joined as members, I really appreciate it. Happy Earth Day, everyone. By the way, it's Earth Day today. I'll be back also on Friday. We'll have our live question and answer class, and you can attend that class. Put your questions in the comments in the chat live, and I'll answer them for you. I hope to see you then on Friday, and channel members, I will see you on Sunday in our live Sunday members only class. Thanks, everyone. I look forward to seeing you again soon. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye, everyone.